Okay. Hi, I'm Philly. Welcome to my kitchen. It is Tuesday, and we are already thinking about Friday that's going to be happening this week in 2023, and that is Cinco de Mayo. And so in thinking about that, I wanted to share a couple of recipes that are quite favorites of mine that I've not made on my own yet. Actually, I take that back. I've made the cocktail before, but when I was inspired to think about what to share this year for the stream, I wanted to pick something different. So last year, in preparation of Cinco de Mayo, we made margaritas, we had a tequila tasting, and I made my very yummy guacamole with a secret ingredient. And if you want to check that out, please find that video. I think it's how to make like a great margarita or something like that. But oh, and I think down below I also included it. But this year, I wanted to include something different, something that you might not be as aware of. And the two recipes that we are going to be fixing today, the first one is an appetizer called Aguachile. I hope I'm saying that right. And it basically is like a ceviche. And I'm going to be making it with shrimp. However, the first time we had it, we were in New York City at a place called Tacuba. My husband and I were there. And we just kind of happened upon it. We were meeting a friend in the city, and we were staying in Hell's Kitchen. And we were like, hey, let's just go grab lunch somewhere. So we found this place in Hell's Kitchen, right near not too far from the hotel. And when we did, we had this amazing appetizer called Aguachile, and I ordered this cocktail called a Poquito Picante, which we're gonna make later before we eat everything and do a little cheers. So I'm really excited to share it. This is absolutely delicious, and these might be things you've never had before or you've never tasted before, and never made before, of course. So let's see who is coming on. DS, hello. Oh my gosh. You know what? It is just like a teacher. I totally forgot today was Teacher Appreciation Day. And I'm kind of thinking that might be a bad thing because it wasn't obvious at my school. But you know what? I do the teaching because I love actually working with the kids, and I love teaching reading to the kids. But yeah, totally did not realize it. So thank you, DS. Do you realize you were the first person to wish me a happy Teacher's Appreciation Day? And it is Teacher Appreciation Week, which I never really put together the fact that isn't that lovely for teachers in the States here that it happens to be oftentimes right around the time of Cinco de Mayo. And Cinco de Mayo, as many of us know, is not as big a deal in Mexico as it is here in the States, but I think it's just a great time to celebrate, to enjoy the Mexican food and the Mexican drink. And so I hope today you will find the stream does that. So let's see who else is on. Matthew, yes, it is a good evening. So thank you, DS, and for, oh, perfect. So are you familiar with Tacuba? DS. I don't know, I know there's so many restaurants in Hell's Kitchen, but we literally popped in there, grabbed a few bites and a couple drinks, and I absolutely loved it. You know, it was just my first time at that restaurant, but really, really enjoyed the offerings they had there. And Eugenia, greetings from Middle Oregon. Bueno Cinco de Mayo temprano. Am I saying that right? Yes, I think so. Welcome all of you. Wonderful, wonderful. So as I was mentioning, this is definitely out of my comfort zone. I've enjoyed ceviche many places. I've never made it because I'm a little nervous about the whole cooking seafood in citrus juice. So I kind of feel like I'm doing a little bit of a science experiment today. So I will let you know if it works or if it doesn't work. So I'm really hoping it works because I know I've had this at restaurants or at the Tacuba in New York City, and it is delicious. So in our, we're gonna be getting started actually right away because we want to, during the stream, let the shrimp marinate in the lime juice so that they can cook them. So let me get that stuff right away. I spent the afternoon squeezing some limes and getting my shrimp ready. All I need to do is slice them. So down below is the link for this recipe, and the recipe came from, by the way, let me find out and give credit, from Sylvie. I actually found 2 aguachile recipes I was interested in, and I think I'm going to be definitely airing more on Sylvia's. and her website is called Feasting at Home. And she, in reading her little bio, I think she's quite an accomplished chef. And she also had brought and wanted to develop this recipe after having it in Mexico. So she came by it honestly, so to speak. So let me just move. So these are some of the things we're going to be using today, by the way, in our drink and or our appetizer. And that is, we have lemon, lime, we have jalapenos, we have cucumber, radishes, and avocado. So let me move this over. And I am going to need a little garlic, so I'm going to just make myself some room here. I'm going to get a cutting board for my shrimp. How is everyone's week going? I hope everyone's having a good week. I'm just going to wash my hands one more time. Make sure they are nice and clean. I'll be washing them a lot because after the shrimp I'll need to wash them. And so the very first thing we're going to do is I'm going to slice these shrimp in half. We want them sliced in half because that way they'll be thinner and they'll be able to cook in the lime juice more easily. So I had already squeezed many limes. I just want to initially put lime juice to cover on here. I wanted to make sure I had enough, and then we'll be using some of the lime juice in our sauce that we're going to be making. So let me first get these sliced. So these are just some large to jumbo size shrimp. You can really use any size, and I was thinking when I did this it maybe would have been better to have had a smaller size so they would be less thick. And what you're going to want to do is, if you look at this shrimp, you want to kind of try to get right between there. It's where it splits from where it was deveined. You want the shells off, you want the veins out, and then and what I find works is for any time I'm doing slicing, whether it's a chicken breast, a thin loaf of bread, a cake, anything, is you put your hand on it and you kind of just guide it through. So I'm just going to guide this through. Doesn't have to be perfect. This one was less than perfect, so I'm actually going to give it one more little slice, which you don't need to do, but I'm just worried a little bit about thickness. And then you'll get a half that is thinner. And then I'm just going to be laying these here on my plate. The other way you can do it, which as someone who has done this before with shrimp, sometimes I do this with shrimp for certain dishes where I want to kind of spread the shrimp out and make it look like there's more shrimp when you're, when you all of a sudden realize you don't have as much shrimp in your freezer that you thought you did, and you're thinking, oh geez, I need to stretch this. So if you cut your shrimp in half, it actually helps stretch it a little bit. So that's kind of a fun fact, because we read with our eyes, we read with eyes, we think with our eyes, and so when you see a bunch of things, you think, oh, that's more, but they're actually thinner. So I'm just thinly slicing these. Again, you could do it this method, or you can do it this method. It's really whatever feels most comfortable to you. There we go, and I'm just laying these down here. And then once I get these all sliced, I'm going to be pouring my lime juice over top so they can cook. Has anyone here made ceviche before? This is my first time making it the traditional way with citrus juice, lime, lemon. Oh, wait, here, I missed something. Oh, Maddie. Did you mean scared of, she's scared of lemons. I'm scared of lemons. Wait, I must have missed something here. Let me see here, friends. What did I miss? What is my, oh no, I don't think I missed. She's scared of lemons. Oh, never mind, they're limes. Oh, Matt, we need to work on your comedic talent there, babes. No, that's very cute. I love that you popped on. Is the sound okay, Matt, my tech advisor? And this would be the kind of food that actually my son Matt would absolutely love. Maddie, wouldn't you absolutely want some of this shrimp ceviche, my friend? And he's going to have a big old no coming there, because Maddie has not acquired a taste yet. Oh, I have a little vein I need to get rid of. If you do have any veins that did not realize they weren't invited to the party, just remove them. You can kind of I try to get under it and then just pull it through, and this one's being stubborn. So I'm just going to kind of trim it out a little bit. You definitely don't want any of that funny stuff in there. So it's giving me shade. I see how this is, Maddie. So Junior says we have a number of quite lovely Mexican restaurants here all ranges of service. I know, a good Mexican restaurant, we have quite a few here in Philly, and a good Mexican restaurant, oh my gosh, like that is everything. We actually are going to one of the newer ones on Cinco de Mayo, so we're kind of excited about that. And Drew stopping by to say hi. Hey Drew, thanks for stopping by, my friend. Making some ceviche here for the first time. I've not done this yet, so thanks for popping in saying hey. Let's see here. Okay, so I've got all of my shrimp sliced. Well, it sounds like Hub's got home. He'll put on his microphone in a little bit. Let me just rinse my hand, not rinse my hands, I'm gonna definitely wash my shrimpy hands. I don't need any shrimpiness. So that did not take long. And again, you choose which method you would like with slicing your shrimp. Putting that in there. And then this is what it's gonna look like. They suggest putting it on a flat surface in one layer because that way you can, you know, kind of drizzle the lime juice all over, and then you can flip it to see when it's cooked. All right, so I'm going to spread this over a little bit. Let's see, make sure we're one layer. Now, I'm doing just a ½ pound of shrimp for us tonight. I'm not doing a full pound because there's just 2 of us. So everything I'll be doing tonight is cut in half from the recipe below. So then I'm actually not going to pour because I'm afraid too much is going to come out. I'm actually just going to ladle some over. And I just, you know, they say I just want to cover this. I don't want to use all my lime juice now, but I definitely want to use enough. And they also said that you could use some of this lime juice in the sauce we're going to make. I'm just telling you, there's like all sorts of bells and whistles that go off. Let me just make sure I do have enough. Yep, all sorts of bells and whistles are going off with me because I'm like, you know, the whole school of raw meats and then whatever you marinate them in, you can't use it again. Like you could boil it again, but you really can't use it again. And this is breaking all the rules. So I'm just going to try to cover this. So I did plenty of lime juice. I'm going to cover it. I'm going to make sure it's going all around the sides. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to show you what that looks like. See that? So it's, I don't know if you can see, but there's lime juice all covering it. Now it's not covering it to the top, but it's like it's not swimming in it. And that's not what they said. They just said cover it with it. And I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of salt. They suggested sprinkling a little salt on it. Not too much because I'm going to salt it afterwards. And we'll be having salt in the sauce. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave these fellas sit here. I'm just going to put a little bit more on this edge because there's like a little tail sticking out. I'm going to push that down in. There we go. Little sucker. It's wanting to stay out of the swimming party. Get him back in there. There we go. I'm going to let these sit here. One more. Okay, I'm going to let these sit here and I'm going to set the timer for 20 minutes. It should take at least 20 minutes, might take 30. Now, when I notice them start to turn pink, I'm going to flip them over. And so it says the whole process should take 20 to 30 minutes, so we shall see. So we're going to have like a little chemical reaction here. So I'm very anxious to see if this works. So let me tell you a little bit about the garnishes that we're going to be adding to the top of this aguachile. So we're going to cook our shrimp now that we're doing in the lime juice. I'm going to be making a sauce. I'm going to be whizzing it up in one of my mini food processors. You could use a blender. But then on top, we're going to be having some different vegetables. And so right now, I'm going to get some of those vegetables prepared because I can also get this stuff prepared for the sauce that I'm going to whiz up. So one of the things that's going to go on top is some avocado. I'm going to save that for last, though, because we know that avocado can turn brown. We're going to be putting some cucumber slices in it. We're going to be putting some radishes slices in it. And in the actual marinade, I'm going to be the sauce, I'm going to be putting some jalapeno. So let me get that stuff cut up now. I'm also going to get some jalapeno cut for the poquito picante because we're going to be using some of these items also in that. So I'm going to get a little plate. so I can get some things ready for the Poquito Picante later, the drink, the cocktail. And I'll also be getting the stuff ready for the aguachile with shrimp. Now, the aguachile with shrimp that Hubs and I had at Tacuba in New York City actually had shrimp and lobster. But today, of course, I'm just using shrimp. And I will say, I'm already starting to notice a color change in my shrimp. So I'll leave it at that. Lime juice. Lime juice, and I sprinkled a little salt on it. All right, so first I'm going to use my mandolin. I'm sorry, I don't have a mandolin. I'm too scared to use a mandolin. I'm afraid that I'm going to slice my fingers off. So I'm going to use a box grater. Like I said, I had a friend that had an injury with the mandolin, so I'm kind of terrified to use it. So what I'm going to do is I'd like my cucumber slices, actually I'm going to do myself. My radishes are the ones I want to get a little bit thinner. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to, now the hard part about the box grater is it's not very sharp. So you also have to be careful. I'm not going to lie with the box grater. And the key is do not go too far down. So I have just a little bitty here. I'm going to stop and call Uncle. I don't need to have a ton of radish slices. I just want some to put on the top. And these will be thinner than I can slice them with a knife. All right? I'm calling it a day with my radishes. There we go. Okay, so we have some lovely radish slices here. I probably won't be using all of these in the aguachile, but at least I've got what I need. Then I've already washed everything. And now I'm just going to slice my cucumber thin. And I'm also going to need some slices for our drinks. So I'm going to get another plate. I'm going to see how many plates I can use. Actually, you know what? I'll use a bowl for this. So I need, for my drinks, I need to have, and I know we'll talk about these recipes once it gets to cocktail time, but I'm going to need 2 slices of cucumbers per drink. So let me just do a couple slices that I'll do for the aguachile. Get some nice, there we go. So these, we got into the nice category. So I'm going to do like a nice slice for the cocktail, and I'm going to do 2 more because I'll make 1 for Hubs and 1 for me.
Look.
Oh goodness. So he didn't follow the rules. So Hubs stopped at the liquor store to pick up some things we were low on, and I said, just get the little Grand Marnier, and he got the medium Grand Marnier. So he doesn't listen. He's he's into the size, right? Maddie, you know that to be true.
In all honesty,
Thank you, DS, by the way. No worries. I'm glad you came onto the stream. And Andy, DS says hi, but he's got to run.
Hello, DS. That was the only one they had. That was the smallest spot.
Okay, likely story. What do you think, Matt, about that?
It's true.
I'm sure it'll be great for those who actually like seafood, though. Absolutely. And Junior says, I pretty much always had to peel and devein the shrimp myself because that's usually the uncooked available. Yes, gotcha. Oh, hey, Archie. How are you, friend? Oh, my goodness. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm trying to do double duty.
Is my mic working, by the way? Can somebody
let me know? It's working. I see it on the little monitor there. So I'm doing a couple cucumber slices for the Poquito Picante, and I also want to do a couple for garnish. You say hi, Hubs.
Hi, Hubs.
Hubs dressed up for the occasion. All right, and then the rest of these I'm going to just thinly slice for the aguachile. So Archie, we were talking about whether anyone had, and there's salad over there for you to eat, by the way.
Cool. Did you already have some?
No, not yet.
Oh.
But go ahead, have some.
No, wait.
Have some.
No,
I'll
I'm
give
good.
you something to do. And that's to top it with, because in case we don't eat all the salad, that way it will save better. I'm sorry, I digress. So, I totally forget what I was talking about. Archie, we were talking about ceviche, and I wasn't sure if you've ever, because I know you love fish, I wasn't sure if you've ever made ceviche. There we go, we got some nice, so again, I probably have more cucumbers here than I'm going to need, and of course, we got a salad over there. Stop eating the food for the cooking show. So here, you can do that one because it doesn't look pretty. Okay. I'm totally like losing my train of thought. Who am I? Who are you? What am I doing? Okay. Next, what we're going to do is I'm going to get some jalapenos ready, not only for the sauce that we're going to be making in the blender, but also for the cocktail. So for the cocktail, it says 3 slices of jalapeno for each cocktail, and take out the seeds, unless you want to keep the seeds. But I never know quite how hot a jalapeno is. So I'm going to give just a little bitty taste on camera. Now I know that didn't have the seeds. Yeah, that was not that hot. So I'm probably going to leave the seeds in. If any fall out, then they fall out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, there's our jalapenos. And this stuff is all ready for our Poquito Picante. I think I just like saying that drink name, Poquito Picante. It's a lovely name. So that is for a little bit later. And then I'm going to use the rest of this, or approximately half of a jalapeno, for my aguachile. So for my sauce, it's going to include 1/4 cup lime juice, a half clove of garlic, a half cup of packed cilantro, and I have my cilantro right here, cleaned and ready to go. Oh, not a half a jalapeno, 1 jalapeno. Did I write that right? Yes, it is, because it was 2 jalapenos for the full recipe. So 1 whole jalapeno. So I'm going to cut into that one a little bit. I changed that. I'm just going to use this one. And what they said to do was cut it in half, but I find that when you are cutting for little food processors, especially a small food processor, I think it's actually helpful to kind of get some of the party started with it. Now, this I'm going to decide to keep the seeds. Let me just double check and see how hot this one is. Oh, that's a hot one.
Got a hot one there, huh?
I'm going to take the seeds out of one side.
Can I taste it?
You can come over.
It's not worth it.
I think Hubs is a little lazy. I'm going to just get these seeds out with my knife. There we go. And of course, do not touch eyes after doing this, because all that oils are on your, on your fingers. I'm just going to rough chop it just so it can go into my blender. And this guy can go back for later. So I already have my lime juice here. I'm going to only use a 1/4 cup of it. So I'm going to measure that out. So I'm going to take some of this out actually and put it in a container that I can save. All right. Let's see. We currently have in here, oh, I don't have that much more. Okay. I'm going to opt not to use the lime juice that the shrimp are marinating or what they're cooking in. She said you could. I just kind of goes against everything I know to be true, so I'm going to be a wuss and choose not to do that. Let me just go a little further. Okay, so we have a 1/4 cup of lime juice there. I'll save this for later. Could make a margarita, anything like that. So I've got my 1/4 cup of lime juice, a half clove of garlic. I'm going to need to pack my cilantro. There we go. And my little half cup to pack it. So Maddie's on. Or I don't know if he's still on, but he was on, babe.
Oh, is he?
He was.
You were talking on the way.
Oh, I see. I'm just going to rip off some because the stems are actually good in it. I'm just going to pack this up. The cilantro is one of the things that gives it the color. If you notice the picture on Twitter, by the way, if you are not following me, if you have a Twitter account, or if you don't even, and you want to kind of be more in the know, and also just see kind of my daily food happenings, find me on Twitter, Philly Live, and myself as well as all these wonderful people that are on the stream. We all very much enjoy sharing food, sharing laughs, and yeah, so find me Philly Live. And by the way, be sure, and if you like this kind of content, like and subscribe and share. A lot of people on YouTube do not know so much about the live streaming, so make sure you give a shout out and say, hey, this is kind of a different way to watch a cooking show. It's someone that's just a home cook, but loves what she does and loves kind of getting to know the community that she is cooking with. And I feel like we've made such great friends here. So let's see what we have here. I can put my glasses on with this. This is way. So I'm going to have to figure out a way to, with my eyes getting crazy. read what y'all have been putting. No, that didn't help at all. All right, let's see here. So I need to catch up. So Eugenia says, I've made it with the shrimp, scallops, and rockfish. Ooh, Eugenia, you're going to have to share some recipes with me. You're much braver than I have been. So if I'm doing anything wrong, please let me know. And then Matthew said, going to Taco Bell, Cinco de Mayo for taco burrito and a nachos fries with yellowbird sauce. That sounds phenomenal. There you go, Matthew. And Archie says, Eugenia, you're a show-off. I noticed the jalapenos we've been getting in the grocery are very mild. Yes, that first one I did was quite mild, and then this one that I'm going to be doing with the sauce was definitely spicier. And I also find, it seems to me that the bigger jalapenos seem to be oftentimes more mild than the smaller ones, but maybe it's just, you know, kind of luck. And let's see here. When you've got it, you've got it. You guys are awesome. And you do too, Arch. You definitely have it, my friend. Let's see here. So only the simple ones, and they're very, yes, wait. So Archie, you're talking the simple ceviche, right? And they're very consistent. One, and then yes. Oh, and you're talking about the jalapenos. Yes, they are inconsistent. Yeah, and you just kind of never know. Oh, Matthew, thank you for the compliment about the great schedule for May. Yes, and I do read all of your comments. I think I'm caught up, but if I haven't, I will catch up this evening, because I do try to comment and reply to any that y'all leave me, whether it's through Twitter or whether it is on YouTube. So thank you for that, Matthew. And Eugenia says, we have quite a large number of people from Mexico here and have chilies in abundance. I love that. Okay, so I'm going to, by the way, check my shrimpies here. And I think they might be ready to be flipped. They've been marinating for now about 15 minutes. Let me just get a little set of tongs. I'm seeing some pink, so I want to turn one over. Okay, it doesn't look that. I don't know if that looks that cooked. Okay. Oh, this is so out of my comfort zone. All right. Okay. So for good measure, I'm just gonna flip them, and it's not ready yet. I'm just gonna flip them, and then I'm gonna pour more lime juice. I do see a difference around the edges, but for certain, the whole thing is not white. So I'm hoping we can taste this on the stream, but we might have to like have drinks and everything before we even get ready for these little shrimpies to be set. Because they really should be all opaque, correct, Eugenia and Arch? Isn't that correct? That's what I felt like I saw on the blog. Let me just flip these. Okay, yeah, this is so why I have not made this yet. But you know what, friends? I'm going to be brave. I know you all are brave. You're brave to watch me. That's very brave. You're brave to come back each week. Let's see here. My hubs is brave to be married to me. Lots of brave people here.
Amen to that.
Hey, you didn't have to like readily, so quickly say that, babe. And you know what? For good measure, I'm going to add the rest of the lime juice just to make sure I've got plenty of lime juice. Also, Eugenia, would you recommend, like what I've done here, doing it flat like she had said, or do you do it in a bowl where they're stacked up? Just any tips y'all have, and any, you know, don't worry, Philly, it's going to be okay. I will covet any of that. So I'm just going to put the rest of the lime juice. I'll feel much better if I feel like there's more cooking it. I think I definitely have used much more lime juice than I need, but I just want to feel comfortable. And I'm going to put a little more salt on that. Let me find my salt. Okay, so let's see. Let's catch up. Let's see what my experts have said. So she said they should be opaque. Yes, it could be 20 plus minutes. Oh, no, I agree. I just worry that it's already been 15 and they're just looking. But you know what? We just might have to go a little bit longer. We'll see. I'll be brave. Okay. Should I keep them kind of, what's the word here? Not narrow, shallow like this. Should I keep it shallowly doing this? And Archie said it's incredibly frustrating here because our stores sometimes use different names And also the specialty chilies are almost impossible to get. Yes, so I would agree. So it's fun, it's kind of hit or miss with some of the specialty chilies. Sometimes I find that I can get them, and then other times it is more difficult, especially like one of the ones, because I do like a lot of Asian cooking, is our regular stores definitely don't have some of their, you know, their spicier, I'm trying to think, I feel like they call it something different, some of their spicy chilies. But I do know that in the city there are some markets that I just haven't been brave enough to go to, and just kind of, because I know it's all going to be in another language, and just visually go in and make my way around and buy some stuff. So I'm hoping to do that with my niece. My niece, oh, by the way, while we're waiting forever for these shrimp to cook, I will tell you that, let me tell you what's coming up. On Saturday, nope, I said that wrong. On Sunday, I am making sourdough bread with my niece. Now, my niece Erica has been making bread for quite a few months now. And she's been making sourdough bread, and it's something she kind of started on her own. And she surprised us, not my sister, but she surprised us with it on Christmas Day when we went there, and there was a fresh loaf that had just come out of the oven. Well, I'm telling you, I'm amazed. Like, I would definitely tell you, her sourdough is my favorite I've ever had. Like, and it's not just because she's my niece. It truly, it has this texture to it that I've really not had any of, like even the nicer restaurants. Like, it's just, there's something super special about it. And so I've asked her to show me how to do it. And so on Friday, we are going to be feeding the starter, because there is a starter that's needed for sourdough. And so she's already has a starter. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. That'll be on a video. And then I'll videotape Saturday when we actually make the dough and we knead it, but then it'll need to rise until Sunday. On Sunday, then we will shape it and bake it and talk a lot about the sourdough process. I will, in that next week, get together the videos, so there'll be a part 1 and 2, which is I've done before, like with the bagels, and I did it also with the pizza dough, is I've had a part 1 and part 2. Speaking of which, my pizza dough, master dough recipe is, the short has been created. I just need to do my voiceover. And Archie, my friend here, is so good at his voiceovers. Voiceovers very much intimidate me, because especially when you have to keep it to a minute. So I have kind of put that off. I will get that done and share that, because that is a great pizza dough recipe that I made with my pizza for the 500 celebration. So in any event, I'm very excited. I cannot wait. And no matter what, it's going to be delicious bread, and it's going to be very exciting. My niece Erica, who is just a wonderful cook, she went vegan many years ago. Her sister's vegetarian. My sister and my brother-in-law just are, you know, they eat everything, just like Hubs and I do. But their eldest daughter went, and she's been on before. She's the one that showed how to make elote, and we made black bean tacos, and we made homemade tortillas. So that's also, if you have not seen that, check out my YouTube page and you can find that. So she brought a vegetarian recipe, and I actually tuned her in through Zoom and from Pittsburgh. Now, Erica lives in the city, so she'll be here in the kitchen, which I'm super excited about. And yeah, so we'll talk a little bit about veganism, and she is just super special to me. So I'm very excited for the bread. I'm very excited for you to meet my niece. So you all be kind. Let's see here. And Eugenia says, my brother-in-law is a professor at Lancaster, or as they say, Lancaster. That's how they say it. Lancaster. But I kind of say Lancaster, but it's Lancaster. And I was thinking of sending him dried chilies and hot sauce as a gift. That's a great idea. That's awesome. Because I don't know how much they get in Lancaster. That I'm not as sure about. The dried whole chili ones are crazy money. Oh, in fact, there's a recipe that I want to do when once I reach 1,000, which I know I'm looking way ahead, but I'll talk about it another time. But it is a Mexican recipe, one that is kind of a fusion of a Mexican recipe as well as a trend that is hitting right now. It's called quesadilla, and so that's one of the things I want to do. But it's something that's going to take a while, so a long 5-hour stream would be perfect for that. And the chipotle adobo sauce. Oh, so wow, our adobo sauce is not that expensive. Wow, that's amazing to me, the differences, you know, in different places. Okay, so I'm gonna put my timer on again. I've already put it on for the initial 20 minutes. We are getting some pink, but I think we're gonna need more time. So we're gonna let these guys continue to cook. I'll probably flip them again. Let's whiz together this sauce. So for this sauce, I'm gonna need my little mini food processor. By the way, here in the city, there's a place down in South Philly, a Mexican place that makes these fabulous tortilla chips, and a nearby market sells them. They are thick. You saw them when I showed my guacamole the other week. They are some of the best tortilla chips I've ever had. They are great for dipping because they don't break off and become like this soggy mess in the dips you have, and they have just the right amount of salt. So that's what we'll be using for our recipe. I'm going to get this plugged in. All right, so, oh, I almost forgot. Before I whiz up my sauce, there is something else that we are going to need. We are going to need a thin sliced red onion. And I'm going to show you a technique that she recommends to take a little bit of the bite of the red onion away so that it's a little bit more palatable. So I already have a red onion that I've used, so I'm just going to use the rest of it. So this is like a quarter of a red onion. I'll be using that for the recipe. And I'm just going to slice it thin. She again said use a mandolin, and well, you all know how that goes here. So I'm actually not, I can get this pretty thin myself, so I'm not going to be using, you know, the box grater, because that will do a horrible job on the onion. So I'm just going to try to get this as thin as I can. And then these onions, I'm going to cover with some water, and then I'm going to add a little bit of white vinegar just to help take some of the sharpness away from them, because we want the onion, obviously, that's why we're putting it in, but we don't want it to be quite as bitey as especially a red onion can be. So you could always opt to use a sweet onion if that's what you chose, but I actually love a red onion. So I'm just putting this in a bowl, and I'm going to cover it with water and then just a little bit of white vinegar. And just let that sit. We'll drain this before we top it on the aguachile. So we add a little water. Get that. So just soaking in water. Just soak that, and I'm going to add a little bit of, so we're not pickling them, that's different. Just trying to take a little bit of the sharpness out. Oh, I think I can use this fork. There we go. So I'm going to set these aside also. There's our onions, so I don't forget, because I almost already forgot them. Now, back to our ingredients. So let me get this. So in here, we're going to be adding a quarter cup of lime juice, 1 clove of garlic, a half clove of garlic, I'm sorry. I'm going to get my jalapeno in there. I'm going to get my cilantro. I'm going to squirt my garlic in there. I'm going to put a half teaspoon of salt. Half teaspoon of salt. So, and lime juice. Oh, and you could add a serrano if you really want it spicy. But I'm going to be, I think we'll be fine with what we got. So now I'm going to bring this over. You know me and my love-hate relationship with these appliances that like don't want to work. I'm going to turn this on so that maybe it'll help with seeing. These are the bane of my existence, friends. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, try taking it off, putting it on this way. There we go. Now we'll try it. It's got to work. Okay, there we go. Let me get it going. Just whizzing this up.
That is painfully loud.
Yeah, sorry about that, friends. I probably should have turned off my microphone. Hopefully I didn't like blast you all out.
I think I'm
Let's
deaf
see.
now.
Yes. Okay, sorry about that. My goodness. Let's see how this looks. All right, there it is. Oh, it smells so good. We've got the jalapeno, the cilantro. Oh, that smells wonderful. So let me show you what that looks like. It's lovely green. It's lovely green sauce. I think all the big chunks got out. I think we're good. Okay, all right, so that is ready. So our green sauce is ready. Let's check out our shrimp. Oh my friends, our shrimpies, they are taking their good old time. They're acting like Heinz ketchup right now. I'm gonna reflip them over. They are improving, I will tell you. They are definitely improving. Of course, are they improving as quickly as I would like them to? No. But does everything happen on a live stream the way you'd like it to? No, it doesn't. But some of them are like getting almost opaque, and then others are taking their good old time. It's really interesting to me how I almost wonder, and I'm sure this is wrong, if like because some certain areas, like they're getting more opaque than other areas. Like I'm like, is the lime juice more citrusy there or something? Like, no, that can't be true. It's just really strange. Okay, let's see. I really was thinking though this was going to be perfect in a live stream, right? Because like, you know, it's all going to happen pretty quick. Okay. All right, so they are definitely not ready yet, so we're going to be patient. Patience is not my virtue, especially when I'm in a live stream, especially when this is our dinner, and I was starting later anyway because I thought this was going to get done pretty quick, but hey, what are you going to do?
I know what we should do.
Have a cocktail.
There you go.
I know. I think that is what we'll do. So we are going to go out of order, and we are going to have our cocktail. Now, Hubs, there's one thing I want you to not let me forget. Please don't let me forget to take a picture of the cocktail and to take a picture of the aguachile if it ever gets cooked.
Okay.
Okay? Does that sound good? All right. So,
You're typically pretty good with remembering to take pictures.
No, I feel like I'm terrible with that, actually. But hopefully I will be good. All right, so friends, for our cocktails. So we're going to fast forward to the cocktails since the shrimp are still taking their good old sweet time getting cooked. Let's see here what everyone else is saying. Archie says, we are making progress with a lot of different foreign food cultures. Availability is much better than 20 years ago. Oh my gosh, and definitely here on the East Coast, very much so. Like I think about the foods, you know, from when we were first married and what's available now. And of course, we both talk about how our childhoods, nothing was available. So it's just, It's all getting better and more multicultural. And you're going to buy one of those, is it Kevlar gloves? Yes. I'm telling you, if I ever did want a mandolin, I would make sure I got one of those gloves.
That so you don't
chop off your fingers. Yeah.
That's a good idea, actually.
Absolutely.
Makes sense that they're out there.
And then Eugenia also said, I've only found things like HP at One Height and store online. Brit foods are scarce here for some reason. When you said HP, what did you mean by that? I'm not sure what the HP is. Your access to Indian spices are probably far better than mine, Archie. Yes, Indian spices are great value here thanks to wonderful South Asian community we have here. And again, in the city, we're pretty lucky with a lot of availability, which is nice. Can we trade your ladle for one of my pies? In a heartbeat, Arch, in a heartbeat. Those last pies looked really good. Okay, so cocktail time.
Yep.
So let me show you what we're going to be making. This is going to be interesting because usually when you think of Mexican cocktails, you're thinking of tequila. Well, this one, Archie, is made with gin. So we're actually going to use the Citadel for this, but it definitely, you know, you could use any kind of gin. It's a gin cocktail. I'm super excited. And this was, again, one I had also at Tacuba, and it was absolutely delicious. This is a spicier cocktail. So if you don't want it to be spicy and you're making it, you could, you could just leave the jalapeno out completely, or B, just take out the seeds or use less. I really feel like You can help reduce heat by using less of the jalapeno and again removing the seeds, because I feel like you'd miss that peppery flavor that the jalapeno gives. So our ingredients, you saw what I had already chopped up. We had jalapeno and cucumber, and then we're also putting Cointreau in this. What were you gonna say?
Grand Marnier? I thought that was Grand Marnier.
No.
Okay. All
That
right.
was something else. That was something else we were looking at. That was something else I was looking at for future things to try. So Cointreau goes in this. So per the recipe, we're going to be doing some muddling. So I'm going to get what I use for a muddler, although I would love like a proper muddler sometime.
Gift hint.
It's a great gift idea. No, wait, oh, I forgot. Wait, when did we get this?
I bought it for you.
No, you did.
Yes, I did.
I think, was this when we were at the grocery store and I saw it and I'm like, yes, that is what we did. Okay, funny story. We were at the grocery store, yes, just the food market. And they have this place where they sell beer by the can, which is really nice because you can get like, oh, I'll take a Peroni. Oh, I'll take a, what's the one I like from Jamaica? Red Stripe. You know, you can kind of pick and choose.
Mix and match.
You mix and match. You don't have to buy like 6 of one thing or whatever. Anyways, next to the cash register, they had this muddler. And of course, I don't have a muddler. I use what I use for my Caesar salads as a muddler, which you can just tell, like, that is a bad idea. What I'm smashing my garlic with, I'm smashing other things with in drinks. That could be really bad. So we have a muddler. I'm so excited. See, that's the good thing about forgetting things, because it's like a whole new present all over again, right? So.
With some ice?
No, it's not time yet for ice. So in here, we're going to be doing some muddling first. I'm making 2 drinks, so I'm doubling the recipe. So it calls for a single recipe, 3 slices of jalapeno and 2 slices of cucumbers. However, I'm going to do 6 and 4, and I'm going to set aside 2 of these cucumbers for garnish. There we go. I'm going to put those 2 big ones right there. I'm just going to dump these in. It was already measured.
Pre-measured.
And I'm also going to put 6 cilantro leaves. So I'm going to do 12 leaves. Do you want to pick 6?
No. I trust you.
No, it was not a matter of trust. It was a matter of help. So there's 4.
No stems?
5. You don't need them. 6. I mean, there can be a little stem on it.
Oh, boy.
That's not a big deal. Okay, don't be obsessed about the stems. So here's 6.
Give me time.
So again, we've got in here 3 slices of jalapeno, 2 slices of cucumber, and 6 cilantro leaves. All right.
Okay.
And then I'm going to muddle. Muddling just means you're pushing down, you're making everything squished and happy with each other. Pretend you're like a mama or a papa and you're like, yes, you're all going to sleep in the same room. You can't have the nice bedroom. I'm just going to squish you all together. Maybe it's a slumber party.
Not sure if I understand that. Basically, you just said you're going to squish your kids.
No, I was just, oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, so this smells interesting. You smell the heat. You smell the heat. You smell the cucumber. And you smell some cilantro. All right. So now to this, we are going to be adding some ice.
Okay.
So grab some ice.
About halfway up or more?
Yeah, about halfway up. No, just halfway up because we have quite a bit of liquid that's going to be going in. Oh, and after that, I'm going to get the lemon juice and simple syrup out. I also squeezed lemons. I was quite the squeezer after school today. Squeezing lemons, squeezing limes. It was a citrus bonanza here. Okay, so again, we're doubling the recipe. So we are going to be adding actually 4 ounces of gin. So here's my gin. Make sure I locate everything. Oh, I hate this thing.
Do you want me to do it?
Nope. This is what you make me do. So this is 2 ounces.
And why do we have the big bottles?
And this is 4 ounces. I think I heard someone say something. All right, so there's our gin. Could you put that back on,
Sure.
love? And then I'm going to be adding also a ½ ounce of Cointreau each, so that will be 1 full ounce of Cointreau. It's here, so since we're putting it together, it'll just be a full ounce. That is an orange liqueur. You could use triple sec if you wanted. There we go. And then I'm going to be adding 3/4 ounces of lemon juice. So if I double that, that's 1½ ounces. And then I'm going to be adding a ½ ounce of simple syrup each. So if I double that, that's 1 ounce of simple syrup. we go. We just got some new simple syrup made, so it's gonna be a little messy, I have a feeling. Oh, a little too much. And I'm just gonna pour that there because I don't want to pour that back in. Okay. All right. And would you wipe that so it doesn't get all sticky and icky?
Sticky and icky?
Sticky and icky. And that's all she wrote. So again, 3 slices jalapeno, 2 slices cucumber, 6 cilantro leaves, 3/4 ounce lemon juice, a 1/2 ounce simple syrup, 2 ounces of gin, and a 1/2 ounce Cointreau. And of course, we doubled it because we're making 2 cocktails. And the other thing that would be great, that one's clean actually, is if you could bring over the glasses.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Give her the shake. Shaking it till it's really cold.
Anything, do you need that lemon and lime?
Nope. Okay, and we're going to double strain because with all that cilantro and cucumber pulp and everything, you've got a whole lot of mess that wants to come here. So we're going to double strain it. But look at that beautiful green.
I remember this trick. This was tasty.
So I actually couldn't remember how much it made, so I used the big glasses because I was afraid we were going to, overwhelm our little coupes. But I guess we didn't really need to do that, did we?
No.
But should we switch? It just doesn't. Well, I'm going to switch for the picture because that just doesn't look as pretty. I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying you don't have to switch, but I think I'm going to switch for the picture. I'm sorry, we're digressing. We're having
Oh, you went back
streamer talk. So let me just show you. Let me get a little knife.
Do you want me to pour it in?
No, not yet. Just see how this looks first. Get a little cucumber garnish. There you are, friends. You can see. See, these are the larger coupes. I just feel like, I don't know. It just looks too big.
All right.
So that's fine for you, but I'm just going to do that. I got it. Do this one. There we go. Voila. Yes, this was a better coupe. So I'll do a picture with that one.
Okay.
And I'm going to put my little cucumber in there. Okay. There we go. So this is the better size. There you go. You can see. Look how pretty. Excellent.
Looks tasty.
So cheers. I'll take a tiny little sip and take a pick.
Smell it.
Oh, it smells
Oh,
good.
it smells great.
Oh, is it spicy? Woo! Okay, so next time I shouldn't put the seeds in. So,
Oh, it's good
again, it is very good.
It is awesome.
This is
Yeah.
definitely spicy. My word, this is aggressive spice, but not like, I'm not like.
But I remember it was.
Oh, it
had
was
some
spicy,
spice.
and I love a spicy drink.
This might be a little bit spicier, but it's
But
very good.
What I would do to change it is I wouldn't use the seeds. I would just, but so
Right.
you never know. Like Archie,
Oh,
you
it's
and
so good,
Eugene, you're
though.
saying that it's so inconsistent.
Actually, the first
Oh shoot,
the first drink is what?
your phone.
I don't know where my phone is. First drink is really spicy. The second one,
second one wasn't so
sip
much?
was not as bad.
Okay, let's see here. Yes, we are still on because DS, our shrimp are taking forever to cook in the lime juice. Like forever to cook in the lime juice. Oh my goodness gracious.
Just put them on the skillet,
Well, one thing you could do, and I had read this too, is if you wanted to just cook them halfway and let them cook the rest of the way in lime juice, you could. But like everyone raved with this recipe, and no one mentioned about it taking longer. So
How do you know they're not done? I mean, how do you know they're done? I should say.
Eugenia, you said they should be completely opaque, right? And these, and my,
They're getting there.
They're getting there, but they aren't completely opaque. They're still showing gray.
I don't know.
Can you read and see what Eugenia says? Because they're still, I mean.
I highly recommend dumping them into acid. However, all for
Like that one, see, even that one just has a little bit of gray still left, and that's a really thin piece. Oh, I'm so sad about this. Oh my goodness.
Do you want me to try one and just tell you?
No. All right. Okay, let me go take a picture of the cocktail. And DS, Archie, Eugenia, put your minds together. Tell me what I should do.
Separate after dinner. Wow. So they have Cointreau or Grand Marnier. the separate after dinner coffee. That actually sounds pretty good. This is a very spicy drink.
Oh my goodness.
I think Amy just,
Yes.
she just spilled.
I just spilled.
I'm in cleanup duty.
No, I actually need to do it. Can't take me anywhere. Oh, friends, what a stream. You know what? So I don't know how the weather is by you. I know how it is by DS, very similar to how it is here. But it is wet and cold, and it is not at all like a typical May weather. I think we're about 20 degrees below normal.
So you've got some ideas here.
Oh, let
So
me have
Eugenia
it.
says add more lime juice, and DS said put it in a bowl.
Put in a bowl. Okay, so why don't you put in a bowl, babe, while I get this little shot.
You want me to do just a
Ask DS, what kind of bowl? Like a, show
like
me
this,
size.
or is this too big?
So now it's been 40 minutes since it's been,
And then he says add more acid.
okay, all right. Well, we have more limes, so we can definitely do that. All right, friends.
Can I put them in a bowl?
Yeah,
Okay.
and don't make sure that lime juice goes in there too. Okay.
Okay.
Look at Hub's cooking. So I went to move this
Cooking.
for the picture, and it
Yeah, what'd you do?
completely sloshed. It sloshed, babe.
Well, that's what happens.
That's what happens.
It's physics, you know.
Okay, so I'm going to get the limes in the squeezer,
I think they're looking pretty opaque.
but they're still gray. I mean, there is dark gray in there. You see that dark gray, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I choose not
So
to.
you want to try to like get all that in because we're going to need that.
I know.
And then use the corner. Yep. Okay, let me get some more.
I think
So
that's
you
a
want
good
them to
idea.
kind of be submerged.
I
So,
know. So we're going to need more.
yep, I'm cutting. Okay.
Want me to squeeze? Oh, you're going to use
do it.
that?
Yeah. I'm all like, there we go. So does
So-
this happen to y'all?
The
Like that it takes longer than you expect?
more drinks you have, the more sips you have with this, the spice is not.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's just, it gets you kind of, it just kind of gets you used to it, and then,
It pops, yeah, with the first sip, but
Beginning.
and then it's not as bad. I actually like it that
I
spicy.
may need you to squeeze that more because I can't get, that's a more of a stubborn line. Okay, and then tilt it to get any that's in the bowl. Tilt it up. Yep, like that. That's good.
Okay.
Thank you. And one more.
Okay.
Here, let me do this first.
I know. Just trying to.
Okay, now you can go finish that. There we go. I'm gonna have a sip to calm Mama down. The recipe's not working.
I think it is.
I kind of wished I'd done it this way to begin with, to be honest.
Yeah.
I was following what her technique was. And everyone, like I said, the reviews were really good, so I sounded like it was definitely the way to do it.
Okay.
Okay. So they are literally swimming in juice now. So there is no excuse. No excuse. Okay. All right. So we're going to put this away. We're going to put these here. And we are going to
need some
tidy
salad?
up. Yeah, why don't we get some salad? But I'm going to tidy up a little bit too because we've just got a lot going on here. And I'm going to, this will be what we eventually put it on, by the way.
Okay.
I guess I don't need it here right now. All right.
All right.
So I will bring some chairs over. So friends, this is unexpected, but you know, live stream is live and is unexpected.
Okay.
So we are going to have a little bit of salad while we wait for our shrimpies to cook. So we totally understand if you aren't able to watch. I always understand that anyway because live stream is such that people pop in and out. But if you are wanting to see how this science experiment goes, you're welcome to stick with us. And
So when was the first time you had ceviche?
Ooh.
How would you pronounce it?
I don't know. That is a really good question. I'm gonna sit there. I'm gonna sit this one. Yeah.
I'm gonna move
I
this.
don't know. I will tell you, one of the things that used to always make me nervous was this is so funny how I've come as how far I've come as a foodie. Was I remember going to restaurants, at Italian restaurants. What do they call the raw fish area? Crudo. I would go to a restaurant and they would talk about crudo, and I would think, oh, because this is before. Remember, because there was a time even with sushi that I didn't really like to eat.
You were just nervous about it.
Yeah, I wasn't comfortable with it. So definitely there was a time with crudo, because I feel like I ate ceviche before I had crudo, and it was probably a shrimp ceviche, because I love shrimp, and they looked cooked. So I had no idea that they had cooked in lemon juice as opposed to with heat like I was accustomed to. But they did look cooked, so I was kind of fine with it. I'm gonna take that one, and then if you want to pour, those are little broken up chips. This is basically just one of those Mexican chopped salads they have. It's a cilantro dressing, and then it comes with some pepitos. It comes with some pepitos and some tortilla chips that you can put on top for a little crunch. I just thought this would be a nice accompaniment for our salad. A little did I know it was going to be so cold today. I was told I should have made like a Mexican soup because I was freezing all day today.
It was unbelievable.
So
So cold.
Let me bring our friends closer so I can read what everyone's saying. We need to get a bigger screen, babe. It's definitely hard reading with this far away. So we add more acid. Yes, and it's all covered. It is definitely covered with acid for sure. And if any parts are sticking up, I'll make sure and
Squash them down.
No, just keep turning them kind of over.
I think they were pretty much all covered.
I know, I was just trying to, but some parts are still gray. Anywho, and then let's see what else people said. Add a touch of vinegar. Oh, okay. I'm up for that, or as my son would say, I'm down for that. We have some white vinegar. Just white vinegar, DS? I'm sure that's what you're meaning. Great TV. Ruby, thank you.
You know, we should
You
just
guys are the best.
We should put in like sulfuric acid.
I put another drizzle. A little drizzle of some white vinegar. You guys are the best. So let's see. It's good for people to see that things rarely go exactly as planned. Absolutely. And I think this is good to know because one of the things with ceviche is you also don't want to serve it like you can't serve it a day later. Like this is one of those things you have to fix and then eat because it'll basically overcook and get mushy.
You know what I give you credit for?
What's that?
You're a very good cook and you cook many things very well. But a lot of times what you do is you try things you've never tried before.
Oh.
Which could be considered a little form of insanity, but it also is pretty brave.
Well, I get bored easily, and I'm a glutton for punishment.
Yeah.
By the way, this drink is awesome. That first bite kind of...
Was that right?
That first sip bites you in the arse, so to speak.
But it was right?
It is delicious. It definitely has spice. I'm not going to lie. And if you're at all versed, definitely either A, try the jalapeno to see if it's a milder one, because if it's really spicy, then reduce the amount of jalapeno you use. Don't use the seeds if you're averse to it. But it's delicious. It's so refreshing. The gin and gin and cucumber go really well together.
There you go.
I mean, they kind of are in a lot of cocktails. But the lemon and the cilantro is just like the cilantro is kind of a little hidden star there too. I love herbs and drinks. I mean, I'm a big fan. You know, like that. There's one that I'll be sharing that I haven't. I've posted pictures, but I haven't shared the recipe yet. Called the South Side that uses mint, and you shake it up. Oh, it's delicious.
I think we're getting there.
You think?
Mm-hmm. Don't touch.
Stir it. He said stir it. Thank you, Diaz.
I'm telling you, I think we're there.
No, we're not there. It's still gray. There is, look at that.
I'm really hungry. I'll just.
He's going to eat it raw and all.
I'm willing to take a chance.
Now, if these had been fished out of the ocean right before us and poor things killed right then and there, then maybe.
Yeah,
but
I'm sure
but
they're
these,
fine.
you just, yeah, they aren't getting done. DS.
Sometimes you
And
just have to take a chance.
It actually, you were right to just add. And you know what? So for any of you watching this, the only one thing I would change is I wouldn't do the flat plate method. I would do the bowl method and I think you're just going to need to get like a bag of limes and use plenty of limes. Okay. So the drink is amazing. I highly recommend it. It is awesome. And if you guys are at Tacuba, do order it. Archie wants to know what's up with you.
With what?
You're a little too charming tonight. I know he's going to ask me something later. There's going to be a favor involved, I'm sure.
No, I'm just. That's typically how I am. I'm just.
He's hot and cold. Oh my goodness. I told him. After watching me on the stream, I told him I owed him because I was definitely a hyper queen during that 5-hour stream. And so I said, I'm going to bring the kinder, calmer Philly.
I thought I was pretty nice, right?
Oh, you were nice. I was a lunatic. Oh my gosh, I couldn't watch myself. I was like, I could just tell how wound up I was.
You were.
I had so much adrenaline until we had those cocktails, or not the cocktails, the gin tasting.
And then you just
and then
like crashed.
And I
And it's
crashed.
just like
literally.
It's like a nosedive.
It was like, that was a science experiment. I mean, and I didn't have extra coffee either. It was all just.
I would
That
love
was
to
all pure Philly.
know. I would just love to know how many words you said that day.
Yeah, could someone count all those words? I bet you there's an app for that. I bet you there's
My
some
God.
sort of little computer thing that will sit there and say, oh, she did 1 million words for that 5-hour stream.
You talk fast as it is, but my goodness, man, it was like a machine gun.
I will tell you, true story. I was getting observed, because as a teacher, you get observed. And I was doing a lesson. It was actually this year. And she, so wonderful and complimentary on my lesson and my rapport with the students and all that kind of stuff. But she said at one point, one of the students said to me, that was a little fast. I didn't quite get it. Well, I will tell you that I don't usually talk too fast with my students because I'm not nervous with them because they're my students. But when an adult comes to a teacher's classroom and then is there, and I like my supervisor, don't get me wrong, but when you are there and in the looking glass, and they're checking out how you teach and everything, immediately I just get nervous, even after all these years.
It's natural.
And so when I get nervous, guess what happens? I talk faster. And I was so glad my students said that, and I have the rapport with my students that they feel comfortable. We're very honest with each other. We have a culture of care, a culture of taking care of each other, taking care of ourselves. And so I complimented her, and I said, oh, thank you for letting me know that. And I slowed down because I hadn't realized, oh, my Lord, give me some nerves, and my voice, it goes off.
That is funny.
Yeah, that was funny. I don't think I ever told you that.
Oh, those are done.
Yeah, the seafood is completely submerged. There's a couple that are floating a little, but mostly, yeah, Eugenia, you and DS and Archie are all right. Like, it's just.
Those are done.
I don't think they're done yet. They're still a little gray. They are. I mean, they are. Look at that one. That's a little gray. I mean, it's not like dark gray. It's just light gray. But why are you braver than me? I'm usually the one that's braver than you with this stuff. Well, not with seafood.
I'm hungry. That's why.
He's like, who cares? I'll get sick.
In my head, as I was saying that, I was trying to think what I have on tap for work tomorrow. So if
Oh
I
my
get
gosh.
sick, I'll be able to.
And Archie, I got to tell you, because what do most kids watch? Most kids watch YouTube. My kids talk about it all the time. They're on YouTube constantly.
They don't watch. Well, our oldest does, because he's watching sports on TV. But that's
Right.
it.
But to
That's all he watches.
Archie's point, I think it was Archie. Yeah, Archie's point. Oh my gosh, if they ever find me, I will. I don't know what I'll do with myself. And I don't think that'll happen because I don't know if any of my kids have ever talked to watching cooking shows. They watch.
If you blow up, know.
Bye.
Go viral.
You're cute. All right. So, friends, let me explain what's going on here. So they are mostly white. Let me show you. Let me see in case you can see.
So maybe
Let me just show them what I'm talking about.
So maybe we eat the ones that.
Well, no,
we
it's
think are
not really like that. But okay, so let me just
It
show.
can be.
Let me see if I can show what I mean. Okay, so now that's not going to be a good picture. Okay, so can you see that there's just a little bit of gray there? A little bit of gray there. I don't know if you can see that. Just a little bit. I don't know if that's, like the other side is completely just, see that teeny little bit of gray there? Like this side is all pink and white, but this side just has the teeniest little bit of gray. So I would love the advice, oopsie.
I will take one for the team.
I would love the advice of my foodie friends. In fact, let me flip all that side over.
I will take one for the team and I will eat those.
Well, but these all go together, sweetie. They all get mixed with the sauce. You understand that, don't you, my friend? So let's see what the foodies say. Let's see what they say. Let me see here.
It says, hello, Hubs. I'm going to make a video instructing how to eat with a knife and fork. I'll dedicate it to you.
Oh, and by the way, you can tell how lovely the weather was because I had to pull my hair back, and even my little excuse for a ponytail is like a frizz bomb.
Your hair was fancy this
Disgusting.
weekend.
It was fancy this weekend.
We had a black tie event.
Yeah, but that fancy hairstyle does not really parlay into future hairstyles.
Right. On Saturday,
Doesn't
we had a
sleep well.
black tie event.
So Eugenia says, they look pretty done to me, but I'm watching on the phone. I don't think you're in any danger. Okay. Thank you, Eugenia. Okay, so I'm going to have you put
Awesome.
this over. Bring that over. Just put over the other thing. So now what we're
If
going to do
If I get
is
sick, it's my fault.
You? What about me?
Well,
So first thing we're going to do is we are going to get the rest of the recipe assembled. So in order to do that, actually, I am going to put this here for a moment because I do want to get my avocado ready. Now, you know, I waited for my avocado because they get brown. They do not like air, and they get brown. By the way, I know you all know this information, but in case anyone's watching and doesn't, I used to have, so once I loved avocados, I had a love-hate relationship with them because with avocados, it's like they become ripe and then you need to use them or lose them, right? So I was frustrated because you never knew if the avocados you got were going to ripen quick, slow, or some don't even ripen at all, which I don't really understand that. But in any event, what I learned is a trick, and I forget who taught me it, but just throw them in the fridge. As soon as they're ripe, throw them in the fridge, and they will last there for quite a long time. I've never timed the longest. And you got to get them in when they're just ripe. If you wait till they're overripe, they won't last as long.
so it works.
But, it works. And then what I do, because like this is a really big avocado. I don't know if you can all see that. So this is a huge one. We're not going to use this whole one for our recipe today. So one of the things that I do is I cover the other half with plastic wrap. Look at the beautiful avocado. Oh my gosh, that is like one of my favorite things when you open up those and they look like that.
I see.
It is creamy.
Oh, yeah.
It is perfect. It does not get better than that. So what I do, whoops, I got a little slice there. I think I'm gonna need to eat that. 1 second. A little bit sliced off. I'll actually put that over here. Is I cover it with plastic wrap. And it's not perfect, but it really does keep for a few days like that. And I'll show you what I do. Oh, apparently I'm not gonna show you what I do because someone put this back when they used the last piece of saran wrap.
Well, I
you
didn't
use
do
that?
it.
Well, but I would have known because it would have like come out.
When did I use the last? When do
you?
I use?
But
saran
how would I
wrap?
have not known that? You all know what happens when you use the last piece. It actually is all crumpled and it doesn't even stick to anything. Okay, so we must have like a little gremlin. All right, so let me get the next one. Just a second. Let me go over here.
You already have one?
I have a new one.
Oh.
Oh, because that is what I do well. I make sure we have products in the weight. All right, so let me get this open. Oh, I hate when that happens. Nope. There we go. Okay. So, oh, and there's nothing worse than starting a new saran wrap. Ugh, or plastic wrap. Okay, let's get this buddy back in there. Oh, there. So
You're
then
just having all kinds of trouble.
I just take off my plastic wrap. Hopefully it doesn't like go onto itself. I cover it, and then
So you keep the...
I keep the stone because the
stone
stone
in there?
covers part of it and keeps that part green. And then if you can see, I just literally push my fingers against the stone. I get this flat against the avocado. Again, it's not perfect, but it really does work for the most part. And I'll tell you what to do if for any part that gets a little brown. So it's all, let me show you, pressed against it like so. See that? It's all pressed against it. And that will keep for a few days. Now, sometimes what will happen if you don't use it to the next day is there might be a couple parts with a little bit of brown, a little bit of brown. If it bothers you, which it's not, there's nothing really for it to bother you. It's just some oxidation. I almost was adding an extra syllable. It's just some oxidation. But if it bothers you, just take a knife and scrape it off. That's all you do. All right, now for this, what I want to do is I want to get some nice slices. So I'm going to use my spoon and scoop it out and then slice it up. Wow, that is gorgeous. I think I need to eat that.
I need to eat that.
Oh. Quicker than I was. Oh my gosh, I love avocado. Just my favorite. Okay, now
Oh, that's good.
I have a little spot there. I don't like spots, so I'm a picker. If I see a spot, like that one has a little spot, I take it out. I do not allow any blemishes on my avocado. So now I'm just going to slice it. And then these slices we can put on top. All right, so we are ready to assemble. So can you put that like just anywhere else? Thank you, love. And I'm going to get my bowl. Whoopsie, sorry, friend. So now that I've done my avocado, I think my shrimp are definitely ready. So I'm going to take out my shrimp. Put them in our other bowl. These better be good, that's all I'm going to say. No, when we had this appetizer, the thing I remember saying to Andy when we had this appetizer is it was just so light and refreshing. And it wasn't heavy. Because sometimes Mexican food can be a little heavy. And this wasn't it in the slightest. It was absolutely delicious. I'm just going to try to make it look a little pretty. So I'm going to dump that because I'm not comfortable using that. Oh, careful. Sorry. All right. And so then what we're going to do is I'm going to get my green sauce. Where did we put my green sauce? Oh, here it is. I'm going to get my green sauce. I'm going to take out that very sharp knife or that sharp blade. And I'm going to pour this over. Okay. Pour that over.
There are so many dishes.
There's so many dishes. Okay, I'll help you, babe. Pour it all over. Okay. And then I'm going to take some of my onions. And now I'm going to use my fingers just because I want to kind of spread them through. Just kind of drizzle them on. Would you do me a favor and grab and just get some leaves of cilantro and put that right on the counter there for me, babe? So in this part, you can really do how you want it, right? You can put as much or as little of these toppings as you like. I really love cucumbers, so the cucumbers I want to put literally all around because I find cucumbers to be so refreshing. So I want those all around, and that was what they had done at the restaurant, which I thought was awesome. Just going to make like a little border of cucumbers.
There has to be somebody more qualified to do this than me.
You are doing great. Okay, and now I'm going to lay some of our some of our radish slices there. I'm not going to do too many. I kind of want it to look, and that's perfect.
That's enough?
I'm just going to add a couple of these beautiful cilantro leaves on it. Gorgeous. Oh, and our avocado. I can't forget our avocado. I'm going to add some of those right. And oh, I shouldn't have put the cilantro on yet. I'm going to have to lift those up. Oh, a fuss budget I am. Right, babe? Don't laugh at me. We've waited this long. We're going to make it perfect. Right, friend? Okay. Oh, my goodness. This is gorgeous. Like, this is gorgeous.
Don't you want more avocado on there?
We're going to put some on later, but this looks pretty. So I like the pretty. Okay, let me show you this. Look at this. Do you see that? Look how gorgeous. So there's the shrimp with the sauce, and then there's that avocado. And you know what I'm doing. I got to get a good pick of it.
Don't slosh it on the floor.
I won't slosh it on the floor. Oh my goodness, this looks gorgeous. I cannot wait.
I'm just going to eat her salad.
All right.
So,
And we're going to get our...
Eugenia said, I'm wondering if your limes might be slightly less acidic
Yeah, isn't that weird? But I'm wondering,
than
like...
preferable.
But
Could be.
why?
And then Archie said, spectacular work, Phil.
What did he say?
Spectacular work, Phil.
Aw, thank you. Well, of course, you know, it can look good, but if it doesn't taste good, then all that work is for naught. So let me clear a place, and I'm going to keep our little toppings here in case we want to add any more.
I'm just getting your salad out of the way.
So we're going to... So on stream, I am not to be relied upon for eating because there's just too much else going on, right, babe?
It's
Okay.
good for me, though.
It is good for you. You kind of enjoy that. You take advantage of my difficulties, for sure. I'm going to just dump that because that just needs to go. All right, so let me bring my chair over. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to dig into these. So we have these awesome chips, and so I think we're going to need a spoon. Yeah, that's not a spoon.
I got it.
Should we get little plates? I think we need little plates too. Okay. So what I was going to do is I'm going to just take some and get some cucumbers. I'm going to get some shrimp. Oh my gosh, this looks amazing.
Maybe we should
I'm going to
eat
get
it.
some
This looks
avocado, some onions, I have the radish.
Maybe we should just look at it.
We should. Oh my gosh. Okay, and then there we go. You go. Look at this. Oh my gosh, so delicious. What do we do with those napkins? Here's some more napkins. I can't believe how long it took for the shrimp to cook. That is
this was
just
supposed to be a quick one.
crazy. I was supposed to be a quick one. Okay, the taste is the test, right?
You go first. If she gets violently ill quickly, I just won't. I won't partake.
Oh, that's so good. It's just fresh. It's bright. The lime juice is bright. I really like the avocados. In fact, I'm going to put more. I like the avocados because the avocados give the richness to balance the brightness. If you don't like avocados, leave them out. But
Oh, that is
what's
really
nice
good.
about it is they really kind of counteract. You know what I mean? Like they kind of, and I love the cucumber. I love all
It's
this.
very acidic. I mean,
Well,
but
right,
very
because
good.
there's lime juice. I
Mm.
mean, now they said you could. She said you could drizzle with olive oil, but I just don't feel like in Mexico they would drizzle with olive oil. It doesn't seem like that would make sense.
I don't need it. Wow, it's good. And all things being equal, the shrimp are,
The shrimp are perfect.
yeah, they're done. They're well done.
They're not well done. They're like
You know what I
they're
mean,
just
yeah.
done.
I mean,
They're not rubbery.
They're done well.
They're not mushy. Yeah, of course not mushy. They just barely got cooked. They are really good. This to me would be a showstopper for company, I think making a big batch of this would be difficult, but like if you were having a couples over for Cinco de Mayo and making some margaritas, this would just be lovely. And it would be unexpected because, again, most people don't know about Aguachile and how that, the ceviche, how they would do it. And so again, you could use any kind of fish. The restaurant used lobster and shrimp. This is just shrimp. It just, give yourself time. I guess my biggest thing would say, give yourself time. And as DS and the rest of you said, put in a bowl, submerge it, add some vinegar if you need to, right? That was the key. That was the key. Well, friends, you know, I will say, I never know quite how these are going to go. Like you think you know how it's all going to play out. You plan it. I do put a lot of planning into these, but at the end of the day, the food is going to cook as it wishes, right? It's delicious. I just love because, you know, I think one of the reasons I wanted to share it is because a lot of Mexican cooking, how do I say this? A lot of American Mexican cooking, what people think of it is rich and cheesy and fried and heavy, right? This is not. This is absolutely, not only is it not heavy, it's light, it is healthy, very healthy. And it, you know, so I kind of liked sharing something that to me is just a great recipe from Mexico. Yeah. So, oh my gosh, you guys are the best. So, DS, Archie, Eugenia, Ruby, and Matthew, I don't know if you're still on, but you were on earlier, and Maddie, thank you for coming on too. I think that was everyone, but thank you so much for coming on stream. And for anyone else that's watching from the sidelines, thank you for your patronage. Thank you always. And coming up again, you don't want to miss sourdough. So sourdough will be Sunday. It'll be sourdough Sunday.
Such a good.
I was telling you.
Unbelievable how good it is.
It is amazing. So I cannot wait to learn from the master, my niece. And until we eat again, have a great week, everyone. Happy Cinco de Mayo on Friday. And see you all next time.
See ya.